10 signs you're dealing with compulsive liar. If someone in your life does this, you're not dealing with a normal person. You're dealing with someone who lies, not because they have to, but because they can't stop. And the scary part? They don't always look like liars. They look like friends, partners, even people you trust the most. At first, it feels small. Little inconsistencies, tiny stories that don't quite add up. You brush it off, because calling someone a liar feels extreme. So instead, you question yourself. But over time, something starts to feel off. Not just what they say, but how they say it. And that's where the truth starts to leak. Compulsive lying, often referred to as pathological lying, is a behavioral pattern where an individual consistently tells falsehoods, even when there is no clear benefit or necessity. Unlike occasional lying, which can be situational or socially motivated, compulsive lying is deeply ingrained and often linked to psychological factors such as low self-esteem, a need for control, or underlying personality disorders. One of the defining characteristics of compulsive liars is that their behavior is not always strategic. In many cases, the lies serve no obvious purpose and may even harm the individual's credibility or relationships. This distinguishes them from manipulative or calculated liars who deceive for specific gain. Compulsive liars may fabricate stories to enhance their image, avoid discomfort, or gain attention, but over time, these lies become habitual and automatic. Psychologically, compulsive lying can be associated with conditions such as narcissistic personality traits, antisocial tendencies, or trauma-related coping mechanisms. For some individuals, lying becomes a way to construct a more acceptable version of reality, both for others and themselves. This can lead to a blurred line between truth and fiction, where the individual may partially believe their own fabrications. In relationships, compulsive lying creates confusion, emotional instability, and a breakdown of trust. Those interacting with compulsive liars often experience self-doubt, frustration, and mental exhaustion, particularly when gaslighting behaviors are present. Recognizing the signs early is crucial, as prolonged exposure can impact one's emotional well-being and perception of reality. Understanding compulsive lying is not just about identifying deception, it's about recognizing patterns of behavior that signal deeper psychological dynamics. Sign 1. They lie about small, pointless things. This is where it starts. Not big lies, not dramatic lies, just unnecessary ones. They exaggerate what they did. They tweak details that don't matter. They tell stories that didn't need changing. And you think, why would anyone lie about something so small? Exactly. That's the point. Sign 2. Their stories keep changing. You hear the same story twice. And it's different. Not completely different. Just slightly adjusted. Details shift. Timelines move. People involved change. And when you notice, they smooth it over like nothing happened. Sign 3. They get defensive fast. Ask a simple question, and suddenly, it's a problem. They don't clarify. They don't explain. They attack. Why are you questioning me? Don't you trust me? You're overthinking. And just like that, you're the one on trial. Sign 4. They over-explain everything. Most people tell the truth simply. Liars? They decorate it. They add layers, unnecessary details, overly specific explanations, because they are not telling the truth. They are building it. Sign 5. They play the victim. This one is dangerous. Every lie somehow turns into their pain. They've been misunderstood. They've been treated unfairly. They've been accused. So instead of focusing on the lie, you start feeling bad for them. And that's exactly what they want. Here's what most people don't realize. Compulsive liars don't just lie to you. They lie to themselves. So when they speak, they're not always acting. Sometimes they actually believe it. Sign 6. They maintain eye contact too much. People think liars avoid eye contact. Not always. Some do the opposite. They stare intensely, trying to force you to believe them. It feels unnatural, because it is. Sign 7. They contradict themselves under pressure. When you push slightly deeper, things start falling apart. They forget what they said. They mix up details. They backtrack, then double down. And suddenly, the truth starts slipping through the cracks. Sign 8. They gaslight you. This is where it gets serious. You remember something clearly. They deny it. You question them. They flip it. That never happened. You're imagining things. You always do this. And slowly, you stop trusting your own memory. Sign 9. They lie even when caught. This is a defining trait. You show proof. Clear, undeniable, and they still deny it, or twist it, or minimize it, because admitting the truth is more uncomfortable than continuing the lie. Sign 10. You feel drained around them. This is the biggest sign. Not what they say, not what they do, but how you feel. Confused, exhausted, on edge, because your brain is constantly trying to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. And the hardest part, compulsive liars don't come with warning labels. They blend in. They adapt. They learn what works on you and use it. So if someone in your life shows these signs, don't ignore it, because the longer you stay, the harder it becomes to see clearly. And remember, it doesn't start with big lies. It starts with small ones that slowly rewrite your reality. The most important lesson about dealing with compulsive liars is that the issue is rarely about isolated lies. It's about patterns. Anyone can lie occasionally, but compulsive liars exhibit consistent, repeated behaviors that create a distorted sense of reality for those around them. Recognizing these patterns early can prevent emotional harm and prolonged confusion. Another critical takeaway is that logic alone cannot resolve interactions with compulsive liars. Presenting facts, evidence, or contradictions often does not lead to accountability. Instead, it may trigger defensiveness, denial, or further manipulation. This is because the behavior is rooted in psychological habits rather than rational decision-making. Emotional awareness is equally important. One of the strongest indicators that something is wrong is not just what the person says, but how you feel around them. Persistent confusion, self-doubt, and emotional exhaustion are signals that the dynamic may be unhealthy. Trusting these internal cues can be more reliable than trying to analyze every inconsistency. Boundaries are essential when dealing with compulsive liars. Without clear limits, the behavior can escalate, leading to deeper manipulation and emotional strain. In some cases, distancing oneself may be necessary to maintain mental clarity and well-being. Finally, it's important to understand that you cannot fix a compulsive liar. Change requires self-awareness and willingness on their part, which is often absent. The focus should instead be on protecting your own mental and emotional stability. Recognizing these lessons empowers individuals to navigate such relationships with greater clarity, confidence, and self-trust. Please subscribe for more videos like this.